Welcome to the Cinefied Podcast, the podcast where we talk about movies and television and anything really entertainment that we feel like. Right now, we're talking about the Mortuary Assistant, and I have Chris back. If you remember, a few weeks ago, we did Return to Silent Hill, and it's who knows, maybe we enjoyed that one more than this one because this one was pretty rough. But thanks for coming back and talking video game movies with me.
Of course, yeah. It seems like is there another video game movie come out soon? Because I'll be back for that too.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh yeah, of course. It's of course I could forget.
Yeah, and then Resident Evil in the fall. I'm sure there's another one that they'll sneak in because this year has been really abnormal with movie video game adaptations.
Yeah,
you got Resident Evil coming out. You got Mario. You got this. You got Silent Hill, and then you have Iron Lung.
That's Iron Lung. That's of course.
That's all 2026. Like, right, and I'm sure there's other ones. Well, is that not movie, I guess, but like that Tomb Raider thing, I think it's like the fall, right?
That's this year, and I think there's another. Isn't there? I mean, God of War is probably not going to be until next year, but I feel like there's another show. We just had Fallout, but I haven't caught up with that. But yeah, I feel like there's another show coming out, and Devil May Cry, which I'm not excited for, but there's a lot of video game stuff.
Yeah. Did you ever check out the Tomb Raider anime on Netflix?
No, I heard it was kind of rough, but I didn't watch it. Yeah,
it's very interesting that Netflix kind of like hopped on that train with doing those anime style, like they did like Splinter Cell and Devil May Cry. And
I actually wanted to see Splinter Cell because I heard it was actually pretty solid, but I mean, it started all because of Castlevania. Castlevania was great. I loved Castlevania. So, but I guess even though I loved it, I guess it kind of sucks where it kind of went from there. Not Castlevania, just video game adaptations in the whole when it comes to animated, because like some of them haven't been great. Like I really didn't like Devil May Cry, and I didn't watch Tomb Raider, but I heard it wasn't great. I expected not to like that one. I didn't watch what was the other one? There was like a one based on Dota. I don't know if you ever heard of Dota. No,
I've not. No.
So. It's like League of Legends. You've heard of League of Legends. Actually, that was a great one. Arcane season 1 is great.
Oh yeah.
But
which has the connection with Fallout with what's her name?
Ella, whatever her name is.
Yeah, main character.
Giant eyes.
But today we're talking about the Mortuary Assistant, which is a 2022 horror video game developed by Darkstone Digital and published by Dread XP. Dread is also a film studio who produced this, and they are a smaller part of Epic Pictures, which is a larger company, and then Shudder picked this up for distribution. So this was just announced last year with several years between when the game released and then the movie now. So it's had enough time to really gain a public following. Chris, how big would you, because you're much more into the gaming world, like how big is this game and like the zeitgeist of like gamers out there? Like, is it a horror game that people just instantly know, like Silent Hill? Not to that level, but like, do they know it?
For sure, especially if you're on like the internet, like around 2022, 2023 time, like everybody was playing this game. Like all the big streamers, like whoever you could think of, whoever's like a big video game streamer, like I don't know, Caseohs or anybody like that, like they were playing this game. And like if you look up Mortuary Assistant on YouTube, you'll find playthroughs from like Markiplier, who we Iron Lung, so that are ranging like the tens of millions. I think Markiplier has like a 15 million viewed video from I think so. I could be wrong there, but like you'll see like hundreds of millions of views from just people all together have played this game. So it's definitely one that people know of, and people really like it too. And I like it too. I really enjoy the concept more so than the game, because I haven't played the game. I'm not, when it comes to these type of like horror games, I'm not into playing them. I'll just watch them because there's not really a lot of gameplay. Really, you're doing things in this one more so than other ones, where a lot of ones you're just kind of walking around and jump scares happen. This one, you're still doing things, as we'll get into when we talk about the actual movie, because they implement that stuff in there very weirdly. But and it's just not my type of game. But I watched a lot of playthroughs, and it was very scary. It's a very scary game, even when you're just watching it. I can only imagine how terrifying it is when you're actually playing it. But it was definitely pretty big when it first came out. I even bought a physical copy of it. because they finally released it physically. So,
but
not
if
that
I
I
may
want to
ask,
play it, but
yeah, if I may ask, what system did you buy a copy of?
I have a PS5. Actually, I can get it real quick. Hold on, it's right here. Let me see. Let me move my cloud figure. And shout outs to Final Fantasy, but I got on PS5 right here. Here it is. Mortuary Assistant.
That's like a British version or something.
Yeah. They only released it in the PEGI region, so Europe. That's their ratings over there. They're like, you know, EMT whatever over in Europe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. It's a game I don't want to play, but I liked it a lot, so I wanted to own a physical copy of it. Yeah.
So there's a game there's elements in this movie that reminded me of another game, which I'll try to remember to circle back to, but
sure.
Which is horror related. And same as you, like I enjoy, if I do watch, or if I want to do a horror game, I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to play it, like, cause I can't do them. They stress me out. So
me too.
And it's something about having control versus just watching someone else do it. That's a whole different ballpark.
Oh yeah, of course.
But so I do see that they do describe this game as a walking simulator. What exactly is a walking simulator?
It's a game where it's pretty much how it sounds. You just kind of walk through the story, like, oh, go walk to the crematorium or whatever. All right, go there. You walk there, and then maybe something scary happens. A piece of story is shown. I wouldn't describe Mortuary Assistant exactly as one because there is like a fail state. Like a lot of walking sims don't have like a fail state, meaning like if you do something wrong, you'll game over. You won't game over in this game, but you'll get a bad ending if you do something wrong. So most of it is a walking sim from what I've seen, but it is a lot of like you have to figure out, like in this movie, you have to figure out the name of the demon. You have to use these sigils. You have to use these like pieces of paper that go on fire to find the sigils around the room. That's all in the video game. And you could screw that up. You have to figure out what the name of the demon is. And if you get the name wrong and then put it on the wrong body, it's weird. And then burn the wrong body, then you get the bad ending. So it's a walking sim for a big chunk of it, but there is more to it. You know, it's more like a Outlast, I guess, which I'm surprised there's not a movie based on that yet.
Yeah, I'm very surprised. I couldn't even do a watch of that one. That one scared the shit out of me.
That one I actually did play. I didn't finish it, but the second one has one of the most horrifying demos I've ever played. But
I played like 10 minutes of it, and I like hid in a closet, and I said, "Nope."
Yeah, the big dude showed up, I'm assuming, and you're like, "No, I'm done."
Yeah, I was like, "Nope. If I'm gonna play it, I'll just watch it." Yeah,
it jump scares you pretty early in the game with the guy like hanging, and it's like, all right. And then literally 15 minutes after that, it gives you the guy that chases you. I'm like, oh no, but yeah.
But this is a movie because before we jump into the movie, because there's a lot of things with this movie that, as someone that has not watched a single thing, I have a lot of questions. I know we've kind of went over that. You've watched the playthroughs. I've seen that this is about like a 2 to 3 hour game normally.
Yeah.
And so they shrunk it down into an hour 40. Do you think that it should have been longer to accommodate things, or is that based or is there no need to should just based off like the way narrative did they successfully adapt the narrative, not the way that it was executed, but the narrative, is it exactly what it is in the game here?
It's pretty much like, actually watching it, I forgot like aspects of the game's story that I had to actually go search up, like, was that in the original game? I'm like, oh, it was actually. So they actually did fairly accurately, like the characters are the same for the most part. And her backstory is kind of the same. And the setting itself, I think they changed a couple things around, like the way, like where the crematorium is and where the body storage place is, but for the most part, it seems pretty accurate. They do go way more into her backstory in this, which is actually a problem we'll get to, I think, personally. But
I agree.
yeah, because we'll get to it. But it's accurate for the most part. I mean, they add different things here and there. Again, I'm sure there's people out there that are Mortuary Assistant lore masters that'll be able to tell me like, no, they screwed it all up. But from what I remember from playthroughs and what I did a little research before this, just to catch myself up, Yeah, it seems pretty accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so we'll just kind of dive into the movie. So this director, when I watched the trailer again last night, he directed a movie that when I saw the title pop up, I was like, what is that? Like, why are they advertising
something or whatever? Right?
Yeah, it's like Slapjaw or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Or Slapface. I think it's Slapface.
That was it, yeah.
And I did not look up what that was, but I'm like, if I've not heard of it, like, why are you advertising it? So, but I just thought that was interesting.
It might have been a Shudder movie.
You know what? That would make sense because that affiliate, yeah. But I had no everything revolving this movie. I had no prior connection. I don't know the two lead actors like at all.
Yeah, I don't know them either.
I don't know this director. I don't know this game, but the trailer, which those unfamiliar with Chris's YouTube channel, he covered this trailer with a reaction, and that's actually the first time I kind of got a glimpse of this, and I was like, oh, this actually looks like scary. Right. And I think the trailer does a good job of making you go, oh, this is a potentially good like horror film. Like,
and I was actually surprised. It looked fairly accurate because they announced this movie, like you said, last year, and the trailer was already out. I'm like, ooh, that was a quick turnaround. Not that doesn't happen a lot of times, especially with horror movies. It's quicker to make horror movies, especially one like this where it's almost entirely set in one building. But I was like, oh, okay, they look like they actually kind of nailed it. I mean, it looks about right. You know, the guy on the poster right there, that's like the big. He looks a little different in the game, but that's about right, and that's what he looks like. That's like the big scary guy. So I was like, all right, cool, all right, I'm ready. This might be good.
His
Shudder has a good track record for most part. So, well, from what I've watched, I've only watched the VHS movies and a couple of their other movies. I haven't watched that Violent Nature movie yet, though. I think that was them too, right?
Yes, yeah. In a Violent Nature is it's very, you have to have a lot of patience with that, and but it ends up being worth it because of the kills, and it's very it rewards your patience. This film is like a mile a minute.
It goes way too fast.
And as I stated, it's an hour and 40 minutes, but essentially the first. Like the film opens, we're not going to do a long episode this time around, so we're not covering everything. But the film opens with what I think is the most effective scene in the movie, which is the first autopsy, which is her locking down the guy's jaw and like the teeth together, and that freaked me out. Then even like the incision on the arm and I thought those effects were incredible.
Yeah, those effects are really good. Yeah. And I'd say the incision on the arm looked maybe a little latexy at times, but I don't know what a body looks like after. You know, I don't want to know. So it's like, I don't know, maybe that's accurate. I'm going to assume they did some research, which, that sucks. Yeah. But, it looked really good. I mean, I would say most of the practical effects in the movie, not that you get I was expecting to see way more of them. But when you get them, for the most part, they're pretty good. There's a couple of CG ones that are not great. Let's just say the fire in particular looked really bad.
Oh yeah. The fire, yeah. So as you said, Chris, so there's the whole thing where never mind, I'm jumping around. So basically the whole thing is that she's a new mortuary assistant. The head of the funeral home has now put her be able to work alone. So she
the most suspicious character of all time. He starts talking like he's like just like a shitty European villain in like a bad like Arnold Schwarzenegger movie or something like that. Oh yeah, he's like yes, finish it. It's like why are you talking like that? He's talking like Wesker from Resident Evil. Like
I did like one of his deliveries at the beginning where she's very like I'm trying to think of what character she reminded me of that's very like has to be perfect, but I can't think of from another thing. Okay. But where he is doing a recording for his own use, and he's like, it's like her cut is satisfactory, and she's like, satisfactory? He's like, is fine.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, but So yeah, it's very their performances are very out there,
Yeah.
but they fit with this universe that we're shoved into. Like
Right.
like we don't really get a lot of outsiders. We get one scene in particular which takes place at a AA meeting, where the main character is getting a chip, and then we meet her who's the person that helps with AA sponsor.
Yeah, sponsor. Yeah.
And so her sponsor, that's where we meet her when she very vaguely appears again in the film, or very slim reappearance. But
Yeah.
so we learn, oh, she has a troubled past. Maybe that's going to come back and haunt her, which it does.
Yeah.
And basically, she's not allowed to work nights. But then all of a sudden, the mortuary director is like, hey, I can't come in tonight. You got to go work. And I have a special thing for you. And that's where things start hitting the fan, and you learn, oh, it's a haunted a mortuary, and she's basically going to be trapped in a cycle.
they kind of reveal that at the beginning. They don't even like waste any time. Like he's like Paul Sparks' character, I can't remember, Raymond, that sounds right.
Yes, Raymond.
Yeah. He's just like while he's teaching her right in the beginning, the opening scene, you see like the foot twitch, and he's like and then he goes down in the basement, and you just see the guy, the little gremlin golem dude, fucking like he's just like, all right. So, and he's like looking, he's like, and then he goes in the corner. He's obviously talking to somebody. We'll find out who that is. They don't make any noise, which was a little weird at that point.
Yeah,
they're obviously awake most of the time. But again, we'll get to it. But he's just like, yes, whatever he said, I can't remember. Everything about him just seemed evil.
Yeah.
Which is accurate to the game too. He talks kind of like that in the game, to be fair.
I thought that would be the case, because the way he talks is so abnormal that it's just like there's no way that was just the way the actor was like, I'm going to perform it this way.
Yeah, for sure. Like he obviously at least watched the playthrough like us or something, or maybe he's just directed by Jeremy Kipp. Was that the
Jeremiah Kipp?
Jeremiah Kipp. Okay. And he was like, all right, just do it like kind of monotone, not monotone, but like, like you're monotone but also evil.
Yeah.
So
because he's seen some shit, he's over it.
Yeah. It's revealed later he's been dealing with this for a little while, so, and he wants out pretty much. He's like
so basically she's forced into this night shift, and she basically, this is kind of like where it's very interesting, because it pretty much from this, as soon as the opening scene ends, that's when the film started losing me as far as logic, which it's a film about possession and haunting and whatnot, but the way it is cut together is so hard to follow.
Yeah, right? I thought the editing was like, I couldn't. Shoutouts to Don Money. That's the guy that edited it. I saw it in the credits as his name. But like, I was a good name. It's a great name. But the editing is so, it's not terrible. For the most part, it's fine. But there's so many times where like she's like, oh, and it cuts, and she's just at the desk, like what the hell happened?
Yeah.
She's just
so many time jumps.
Yeah. Somebody like, all right, I guess 30 minutes later. How long is this night? Like keeps jumping. It's like whatever.
Yeah. It's there's moments. The moment now I'm talking about where I was just like, okay, so she goes home from her training at first before she gets the night shift, and she puts her key on the counter, but then she goes to sleep, and then she wakes up and her key's gone. So she's already, from one instance of being in that mortuary, she's now already been previously possessed, I guess.
I guess so. And they don't really explain that. Like, did she do something like in between? I guess the AA sponsor later comes over, says, you called me, and then you find out that was bull.
But it wasn't bull.
A vision. Because it wasn't, because she does show up
back. Yeah.
Unless that was also bull, and that was the demon also screwing with her again, trying to keep her there, I guess, because they don't want her at the mortuary. Maybe.
Yeah, because I was like, that makes no logical sense, because her sponsor basically comes to her and it was like, hey, like, I know you've been using and whatnot, because she's being very erratic, and like, this is after her first day at the mortuary, or first night at the mortuary, where a lot of weird things happen. She gets seemingly maybe possessed at a point, and she's seeing things. She's hearing her father. That's her backstory, is that her father tragically died trying to
save her after she went on like a drug binge or whatever, and she was just,
Yeah.
like, they don't really explain. I guess she fell there, or she just like got drunk, and did she fall in the water and like?
I think she was just wandering and just like
Fell, I
wanted
guess?
to be isolated, and and that's where she ended
She
up.
did drugs,
But
I guess, huh?
yeah, I mean, I just assume, but that's that whole thing makes no
Yeah.
sense to me. Her
it
backstory
doesn't.
makes no sense, but essentially,
Especially the dad called the cops and said, "Hey, there's a white girl missing," and they didn't give a shit. Like, what world am I living in? Like, also nobody cared, and also, how the hell did he find her? He just knew she was there. Whatever.
I mean, yeah, I assume maybe he knew her spots or something, or I don't know, but it's very important to know that this film is set in the late 90s. It is before cell phones, because there's a lot of instances with like there's the instance that Chris just mentioned with her dad, and then he finds her, and then he tries to call for help, but he has to go find someone. Yeah, versus actually picking up a cell phone. There's no cell phones during that time.
Yeah.
So,
well, the one thing that annoyed me is like, why don't you just grab her and go? We like,
yeah, I don't know.
And also, he said like, come on, breathe, but he didn't check to see if she was breathing. She was breathing, because we find out 2 minutes later she wakes up. She's like, Dad. It's like, I don't know, maybe that was the demon doing something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and then that's where the demon comes into play too. And the demon makes no sense to be there yet, because she's never been to this mortuary as far as we know. Like, and it's the same demonic figure that we see in the mortuary.
Yeah.
It's
this guy.
It's just this guy that's on the poster over here.
Over there.
and he's it just, he appears, he scares her dad. And then her dad freaks out, falls, hits his head, and then she witnesses her dad being dead. She blames herself for her dad coming out and finding her, and then that's what probably enhances her drug use and so forth. Because she's only a year in, I think, at the AA meeting, getting her token.
She is. She just got the token, the chip or
so she's definitely struggling with her sobriety, and so it's a matter of like her kind of dealing with her trauma, dealing with her sobriety. And then also dealing with like actually real hauntings that are occurring at this mortuary. But the after her first night, her sponsor comes over, basically accuses her of using, and then she basically turns demonic and then attacks her sponsor, like viciously bites off one of her fingers. And then she awakens and goes, "Oh my God, what did I do?" Then freaks out to go to the mortuary after calling, or he calls her, the mortuary director. Goes to the work because he's like, "I'm so sorry. I should have told you that you're going to get possessed.
You're going to get possessed. There's evil demons." I'm like, "Yeah, you should have probably said that like way earlier." And then isn't it revealed that was bull anyway? Because he starts saying weird stuff, or is that later? No, that's later. He starts saying weird shit on the phone, like "burn yourself, you have to go into flames." That's later.
That's later. And she basically runs out the door, but her actual sponsor maybe is outside being like, it's like, where are we going?
Where are you going? You called me, whatever.
And her sponsor that she killed is no longer on the floor back there.
That was a weird scene too, because like they do the thing where like, oh, she's not actually dead and she's a demon now, because the demon like possesses whatever. There's a whole lore about like a demon could possess somebody but can't stay in the body too long unless they're like more suitable for the demon, like her or whatever, I guess, right? I think that's it. I think that's the lore. I don't even know if that's the lore in the game, honestly, but
that's just supernatural lore right there.
That's
the show.
Which, why do they want to even be a human anyway? Like, they seem like they do pretty good without the human body anyway. I think in the game at least they do pretty well without the human body. Actually, no, never mind. There is a bad ending. Never mind. The bad ending in Mortuary Assistant shows that that's actually bullshit. Never mind. Maybe I'll tell you about that later when we get to the ending of this.
But so the reason why we're jumping around so much is because basically once we're back at the mortuary, there's really a very difficult story here. So essentially she starts doing her job like she's already done her job. She went home. So she's now understanding that she has a problem on her hands. She's possessed. She has something inside of her. And so this is where Raymond, the director, kind of like gives her the lowdown of what is happening here.
The tutorial for the video game.
The tutorial. And it was like, this is what you have to do to, survive and so forth. And then it's just basically from there on, it's just basically a circle, same thing over and over.
Around, Yep. Because it starts. I'll give it this. I did like when I first watched it. I was like, I don't know if I like that they interrupted the tutorial, but I kind of like that he's explaining things like, here's the sigils. You have to find the demon's name, and then you have to put the sigils on another thing, and then put it on the body of the thing, and then you have to embalm the thing, but you have to use a special reagent thing in the embalming fluid, and then put it in the body. And as he's explaining this, she goes, or whatever. She falls asleep at one point, and he's like, what's her name again? Jessica? I don't know. He's like,
I'll look it up. But yeah, the main character of this movie, I'll look it up.
Lily, I don't know, whatever. And he's like, are you hello? And then you find out she's got possessed while he was telling her how to solve it. At that point, the demon.
Her name's Rebecca.
Rebecca, they're gonna. While I don't understand why the demon, like, they don't explain the rules really that well with the demon. Why doesn't the demon just take her body over, and then like later on she doesn't get possessed ever again, right? Am I losing it? She never does get possessed again.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, because there are a lot of time jumps with the editing, which make you think, oh, she has been possessed, and that's kind of like her point of view. Like, she awakens, like, oh, she's on the phone or she's at the desk. Because there's like a lot of times with the, which I blame the editing, but it could be purposeful.
It could be,
but
true.
But it's not a good purpose. But
no, because it just makes it confusing. And we're like, okay, what happened? She just woke up again? Like, all that was bull? Whatever. Again, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But so anyway, I did like that. But yeah, as you said, like, the rest of the movie is, she eventually learns the rest of the tutorial, I guess. So she through a tape. For some reason, whenever we have a horror movie, we always have to have like a VHS tape moment where like we go through like, all right, here we go, spooky tape time where I reveal everything. And I guess he recorded this for some reason. I guess for people later on, I guess maybe so they could.
Well, it's just like, and I think that was him calling, because that's the thing, is you also don't know if it's actually Raymond calling or not, because the demon takes a hold of his voice on the phone sometimes, and he instructs her to go do that. I think that was a demon. He was like, go do the tapes and listen to the rest of the tapes, and then so then she does the tapes, and then this may or may not be where she finds that there is a woman trapped in the basement with the tapes, like where he cuts her wrists and drains her blood.
Makes it look very brutal what he's doing. I mean, what he's doing is brutal, but she's also obviously possessed. You don't need to even see her being possessed to know. I mean, Raymond's kind of weird, but she's probably possessed. I mean, the mortuary itself has demons in it, and there's a woman in here, like, with she has demon makeup on already, and she's like, help me. Like, she's I saw the beginning of Evil Dead 2013. I know where this is going. It's like,
oh wait, Evil Dead, that's exactly what I was gonna bring up. Evil Dead at least like puts her back into like normal. This is just like, she still looks like a demon. She's like, help me.
I guess that was supposed to be like, she's in there so long, and that's why she looks like that. But she just looked like demon face. So like immediately I'm like, she looks like she at any point her eyes will go crazy, and she goes, swallow your soul, or fuck. But
or your mother sucks cocks in hell, or whatever.
Yeah, of course, classic. Oh yeah, hey pretty boy, I'll suck your cock. I'm like, what? That's my favorite. Was that for the remake, or is that the original? I can't remember that.
I don't know. I mean, that also could just be Scary Movie 2.
That is true. That might just be Scary Movie 2.
I mean, the Scary Movie 2 has one of the best openings of all time.
Yeah. Where James Woods walks in and she turns her head on, he's like, "Fuck this!" He just walks. I wish that was the last time.
Andy Richter's like, "No, you gotta keep going."
I wish that was the last time you saw James Woods. He just ran out the room. You never see him again. That was a good
I'd much rather talk about than this movie.
Oh yeah,
but
sure.
So essentially, she has to find the body of that is currently being possessed, I guess, and then put the symbols based on it's even with the tapes. I don't understand how she's supposed to find these symbols and be like, this is what the creature's name is. Like I don't understand what the symbols are, why they're on the game, on the roof, not on the roof, on the walls. So
That's in the game. You have to. I mean, the mortuary is, I want to say, pretty smaller in the game. So it's only a couple hallways. I think there is a basement too. But this movie made the mortuary feel way larger at times, where she's like roaming around everywhere, roam, and then it cuts and she's roaming in a different place and stuff. But I don't think the mortuary is supposed to be that big. Again, you can beat this game in less than 2 hours, and you have to do all this stuff. And it is a game you have to play over and over again, because you'll probably screw up the first time, and you'll get more lore if you replay it and stuff. But it is still meant to be beaten less than 2 hours. So, like, that is all the things you do. You go around, you get the sigils, you figure out the sigils on the wall, and you're like, okay, that sigil's good. You use the paper, the little fly paper thing that burns instantly, which, by the way, when she first gets that in the drawer, I was like, what the fuck? She's just like, I guess I'll burn this now.
I just now realized that my logic just went straight out the window, what I said earlier about being the 90s, because she has her phone. She has a phone with the, like, before she goes home for the first time and has her sponsor, she's like dragging the lady that she's like, you used to be someone's grandma, right? And then she like pulls on the lights go out and she tries to put on her phone's thing and it's out of battery.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So why?
Yeah, it's not even 90s.
Yeah.
So well, they did that at least. They showed that for some reason, like, she didn't charge her phone. She was at 1% battery, and so she was like, "Oh, dang it!"
I like to think she was possessed, and the demon was just sitting in a chair, like legs crossed, being like waiting for the phone to die.
Yeah. I mean, probably. I mean, there was that one shot where they show her underneath the sheet, the old lady, and she's like smiling.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, here we go, jump scare, and then it just cuts, and she's burning a lot. I'm like, what the fuck was that? I thought he was gonna do something. He's just like, all right, put you in the furnace now. Bye. And then this terrible CG fire. It's like,
so right. The CG of fire, which is very interesting, because this is in the span of the last week, I've watched this, which had a bunch of cremation fire, and then I watched this one movie called Honey Bunch, which is also a Shudder movie, which also had a crematory cremation thing, and it had fire that was also terrible to look at. I was just like, Shudder.
Silent Hill had it too. Silent Hill had bad fire also.
They need to figure out.
Not a
fire,
good year
man.
for CG fire.
Yeah, if we can get a movie with an ape that's just a guy in a costume with an awesome machine powered mask, and it looked like so realistic, but we can't do fire. Come on.
And so, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that primate movie didn't have like a $8 million budget or something like that.
No, it was. I thought so too. It's a $25 million budget.
Oh, was it? Okay, all right. Yeah. All right, never mind. I'm about to say, because that would be lower than that Silent Hill movie we watched, because that had like a 20. Like
that one also was 25. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, all right.
Yeah. But that one has very pretty landscapes and whatnot. You got paid to be out there and so forth.
That big ass house they're in that primate movie. I still haven't seen it yet, but
because it's all for the most part practical. So you gotta like they had to pay to be out there and so forth. And it's much better looking in every regard than most of this, and the hallways that are very blank. And so the game what was it?
No, I was gonna say, funny enough, the guy that directed Primate directed that last Resident Evil movie. So
which
sucked ass, but whatever. We can ignore that.
Video game adaptations.
Yeah.
So in the game, because you do have to go around in this movie, and that did seem very game-like, and you said that is in the game where you have to find those symbols. And so is the demon or this creature that's on the poster following you around? Is this thing on the poster the demon?
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually the I don't think it has like an actual I think it is, because it like everything else you see in it is like old creepy lady or old man creepy man and stuff, but then this thing shows up. I think this is the actual supposed to be what the demon actually looks like. I do not remember exactly though, but this is definitely the thing that people remember the most. So it might not be the actual way the demon looks, but this guy right there over there is what you'll remember the most from that. So they probably just like, well, we got to have him be the I mean, at the end when they had the standoff, I'm like, well, obviously that's what the demon actually looks like, right? They have like a standoff where they like stare at each other. And I'm just like, what?
It seems like the bad ending you mentioned, where
actually that's the good ending.
You want me to back to work.
Yep, that's the good ending. You want me to tell you the bad ending?
I mean, absolutely. Let's just be the moral of the story is that basically she ends up not solving what the whole thing is like. She's supposed to burn bodies. She's supposed to find the name. She's supposed to resolve everything. She's supposed to kind of like absolve herself of this possession. And ultimately she fails. And there's no way to get rid of it. They just have to continuously try to hold it back. Basically,
and try to fit. And in the game, I want to say Raymond's character is like, I know there's a way we can actually do this. And like, it gives you a little hope at the end. Like there has to be a way to permanently get rid of these demons or this demon or if whatever. In this one, it's just like, no, this is what we're going to do forever.
And I assume like the thing that the demonic Raymond tells her where to cut her wrists and drop it onto the body and burn that locked demon directly to her forever.
I think so, but also I think it was also true what he said. The fake version was about like it gets off on the torture and whatever. So it might have also just been that, where it's just like it might have just been screwing with her. Like that. I guess that's also a thing you could say is that like, why didn't they just possess her or kill her right there or whatever? It probably. I mean, it's a demon. You could just assume that any demon's gonna be the same way, where it obviously wants you to get tortured and tormented and stuff. So it makes sense that just immediately kill you. So I guess that's why the movie is 90 minutes long and not 10 seconds, where she walks in, immediately the demon crushes her face and that's it. But and Raymond died. Well, Raymond tattooed the sigil, which is in the game, by the way.
I thought she was going to do that to her own chest, because that's what they said in like it's like tattoo, engrave it onto your chest. I thought was what it said in the video. So I was just like, is she going to like put it onto herself? Like I thought it was going to be like those things where you put like it in the fire and then you like put it on yourself. Brand.
Oh yeah, brand.
I thought she was going to brand herself with like the symbol thing. Like,
I mean, he should have made that at this point. What the hell?
Instead of carefully painting.
Carefully, just like. I guess he has to keep doing that too, because we see him earlier in the movie, like when he's not there, he's doing it. He's like, I can't make it. I have a Taco Tuesday. So and he's like, he's drawing the sigil and stuff. So I guess he has to keep doing that. Why don't you just like actually tattoo it? Well, it would be the weirdest thing to tattoo artist. And
then also it's like, I don't think he, that's a good point. I also don't think he needs to have it like all the way around, because he literally just does this.
Yeah,
that's all he does. He just shows his like chest like to this point. So it's like, why are you covering all of this? There's no reason.
You just have a little version of it. Why don't you? Here's the best thing. Why don't you just have it on like your hand or something? So you don't even need. You just be like, stop. I have a little one, or have it like you could tattoo on your chest if you want. But how about you also have like a piece of paper too? You know, just right on there, like oh yeah, laminate it so you can't like. There you go.
It's like laminate it, bitch.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah, you can't burn it out.
All right, but I think ultimately, like, the reason why I don't like this movie beyond the editing is it feels very pointless. It feels very all over the place.
Like, we didn't talk about the last half really. We went through it quick because really it is serious. Like doing a recap of this is pointless. It is the last half of this is her walking around. She has that. Is it called fly paper? Am I saying the right thing? Like
I don't know. I think that's what they call it. But
Well, anyway, she has like the paper that burns, which by the way, it kept annoying me that she kept using it as if it was like illuminating anything. It wasn't fucking doing it. I know she was using it to light up the sigils, but she was also using it to see things in the beginning. I'm like, it's not illuminating anything. It's like barely on fire and it's completely pitch black. There's like a little bit of light. Like, how is it even working? Why would you even think originally to do that?
It doesn't even seem like it is lighting up the symbols on the wall. It seems like that's just doing it on its own, like as she's like walking around it. So.
That's like the biggest indication that this is based on a game. Even if you didn't know that, like if you know gaming enough and you watch that scene separate from knowing this is a video game adaptation at all, you'll be like, is this like a video game thing? Because she's like walking around. I got one, I collected one, and then hard cuts to her putting the sigil in, and then cuts back. Oh, I found number 2. Put number 2 in. All right. Oh, there's a jump scare. Okay. Well, here's 3. I got 3. It's just like collecting everything. By the way, the game does a great job of balancing the scares with them finding the sigils and stuff. There'll be like someone at the window. It scares you. There's somebody in the dark on the other side of the mortuary, and they keep turning the lights on, and they're getting closer as they turn the lights on and off and stuff. So there's a lot of really good. There's a guy in the corner the little gremlin dude on the poster will be in the corner, like looking at you. I mean, he won't attack you, but he's just screwing with you. So like this movie doesn't even do like every time the gremlin guy shows up, the demon guy, he's like, ugh. And then he's just like, all right. He doesn't do anything like at all. He doesn't even jump scare. He just like gets up at one point. He's like, ugh. When she falls down the stairs at the end, he's just like, he goes, ugh. And nothing happens.
Well, and I believe in the trailer, you mentioned the outside thing. I think like you get the silhouette of like the demon outside the window, like it's lightning out, and I think in the trailer you get that never happens in the movie.
No,
it's
doesn't.
Her
was
grandma.
Looking,
which she like bangs, and that's like one of the worst performances in the film, like her banging on the thing. And then it's like whenever they use a demonic voice, it's like even worse than like the Evil Dead 1980 whatever. Like it's really terrible demonic voice. Like
it's
they're
so
not trying.
Obvious too. Like when he on the phone and Raymond's talking to her, but it's not Raymond. And then he starts like, burn yourself, put yourself on fire, cleanse your flesh with fire, and then it's just like obviously he's a demon, so the demon's just like, I am demon man. It's just like what's the thing? And then the one thing that really annoyed me in this movie, like the most annoying thing, is did you notice the picture of the grandma on the wall and on his desk? Did you notice that?
I noticed it, but I never thought to like look at it back. It's a scary looking photo just to begin with. Did anything come of that?
No, the entire movie I was waiting like, all right, it's gonna move. It's gonna do like some Harry Potter stuff where like the pictures move sometimes or whatever. No, it didn't happen at all. The entire time they kept framing it right in the middle of the frame at time. I'm like, just gonna be a jump scare. The demon's gonna screw with them by like making them see. No.
Well, that's one thing that I did. I thought it was well shot. Like I thought that they framed a lot of like it was well framed. Like as you kind of mentioned, the way it's like that like makes you very alert, and also because it is, as Raymond says, like it's not like a normal mortuary like or funeral home. People are not allowed in this. It's just the people that work there. And so it's like an open.
The walls are just covered and dripping with I don't even know. Like they don't clean that place up. It's disgusting.
It's a lot of mold. So but you get a lot of like shots of like the person in the forefront, and then the background you're like, oh, is something going to pop up? And then it almost never does. But you know, then you do have some moments like I do think like the first time she witnesses the demon and you see the red eyes, I like because
that was creepy.
It's not there and then it's there, and it keeps like kind of like going like this, and I thought that I did think it was going to get closer to her, but
and that thing only shows up again later
and like, becomes her dad.
And becomes her dad, but every time they show the dad and it's supposed to be kind of creepy, it wasn't at all. Like the guy doesn't look creepy at all. Like it doesn't matter how many like pieces of skin you rip off his face to make him look dead. It's just like they used him way too much, like just the dad version of the ghost. Also, it didn't make any sense. Did she just like forgive herself or something? That's what the vision's supposed to be at the end, where like dad's like, it's okay, move on with your life. How come the dad didn't do this earlier if it was like an actual ghost, like an actual like spirit? She did this like 10 years ago. Then it's like
I don't know. Like it's like kind of it feels like she unlocked the memory that she wouldn't have had. It was like she unlocked like the demon's memory of like being there that night for some reason.
Yeah, that was weird. I guess that was the demon maybe revealing that I had something to do, or maybe it could have been just Bull and the demon was just like, yeah, it was me, even though it wasn't actually him. Maybe I don't know. Yeah. I guess
maybe it's just like death looms around every corner, like Final Destination thing, and it's like it's actually none of this is actually happening. And she is in fact on a drug bender. Maybe she actually got the drugs that night, and
when she was looking at the one guy, I wonder if that was a cameo. The drug,
I
wonder if that was the director. You ever like watch a movie and you think like, oh, that might have been the director cameo, because sometimes they like to put themselves in a movie in a non-speaking role.
It very much could have been. I bet it's on IMDb.
Random thought.
The guy probably is very proud of his role. Let's see.
Drug dealer. I don't know if that's the one you want to have. Like
there's a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people listed. So not a ton.
And most of them are
drug
probably
dealer's not listed.
No, he's not. Okay. Sorry, I called you a drug dealer. But if they're watching, just in case. But Oh, and there was something else that I wanted to mention, but I forgot.
Look at his face though.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's 100% him though.
Oh, is it really him? I didn't know.
Like that's the drug dealer. I'm pretty sure.
I think that's him. I think I nailed it.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. I really didn't look that up to know. I might have to look in the credits after again. But like the credits of the actual movie. But I had something else I wanted to say, but I forgot. I guess it wasn't that important. But I do want to say, like, the game itself, I said it like balances everything so well from what I've seen. Again, I didn't play it. But the game also does that like backstory better too, because it is in the game about, like, I think they explained that her mother was a drug addict too in the game, which I don't remember if they mentioned that in this.
Okay.
No, they mention that? Do you remember?
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they mentioned that her mother was a drug addict in the game. And I guess that's kind of where it's like it started for her. Like her dad, she was already doing drugs, then her dad died. I don't know if it was the same death. I think he might have just died or whatever. As well. So they do that backstory better because it's not a big part of the game. The game itself is you go around and you actually embalm, like you're actually doing the embalming and the like sewing the whatever. That's a big part of the gameplay. I mean, that is the gameplay, really. It's that, and also look around for sigils. You're supposed to do your job, embalm the corpses, all that stuff, and then walk around, find the sigils, and find the whatever, and find the name of the demon. But like that's the game, and the movie doesn't really, like, after the last half, it kind of like ditches the whole. It doesn't, but it doesn't focus on like the embalming. Not that I want to see her like mess around with corpses and stuff, but like the whole point of the game is that, really. And then like the first time you see it, like you said in the beginning scene where she's like, she's sewing the teeth up and stuff, or the jaw or whatever. Like after that, like it's like, all right, I'll do a cup here and there, and then like 30 minutes later, she's back to doing more. I don't know. Like I feel like the premise of the game was kind of lost in terms of when it comes to the gameplay aspect, where like I get it's a movie, but like that is a big part of the story of the game too. And here it's kind of like an afterthought. I'm like, all right, I guess the bodies, whatever, because you're moving bodies constantly in that game. You go, all right, bring this one. Oh, let's see this one. Is this one the curse? No. And you have to like look through the bodies, see which ones are cut up, because they do that in the movie. They show the cut
they show where she's like, oh, poor girl and whatnot. And she has all
that was the curse.
Like the one was like, oh, these are really fresh wounds. On the one guy. Yeah. So.
But that's the thing in the game. You have to like really like study each body. But in this one, it goes by so quick. It's just like most of it is her backstory. And I'm sorry, she's not that interesting of a character, and her backstory is very generic. Like it's a very. It would be fine if the acting was better. Not that the actors did a bad job. It's just that it's not. I didn't feel much for her. I don't really know her as a character that much. Besides, she's scared of this place, and she had her dad passed away, which is sad again. But I just I don't care about this character enough, and it spends too much time with that character. Where in the game, it doesn't really. It has that stuff, but it's still focused more on the horror aspect and the gameplay aspect. I get it's a movie, but still, I don't know. Like they could have did that better.
You always have to. That's the reason why video game adaptations are rarely good, is because you have to weigh like the gameplay with narrative, because obviously you can't play. I mean, you can't actually like physically play a movie, so you have to just be along for the ride. And so it's just basically like how much of it is essential. How much essentialness are you getting out of the gameplay versus the story? And it seems like if the story is directly lifted from the game to here, I think the gameplay is essential to get kind of like the fear and kind of like get more tension out of what's happening, because I just didn't have like any sense of fear or worry that this character was going to die. And if she did die, I was just like,
she might not be dead anyway. She might wake up and she's like, oh, that was weird. Like it happens like 3 times in this movie. Like it's almost like it's like one of those like time loop horror movies where like they die like a happy death day or whatever. Like I don't care. She's fine. Look, she woke up. She's fine. Like when she wakes up at the end, I was like, what? And then I was like, the movie's about to end in like I know like 5 minutes. So how they gonna wrap this up? And she just walks to Raymond and is like, yeah, I guess I don't know if you did it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean you're stuck. All right. And then she goes outside, and for some reason, there's a bunch of kids playing right outside a mortuary. I don't really understand what the fuck was happening there. But all right, whatever. They look like asshole kids. Maybe they're just like, hey, mortuary, let's have fun. And then the demon guy's just like, just chilling there, and they have to stand up.
Got some jump roping kids being like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. It's just the Freddy kids. Yeah, that would have been better, honestly. But I do want to tell you the ending.
Absolutely.
Ending.
Let's finish off this. Basically, how do you feel about this ending that we get in this movie? Like, do you think it works? I don't think it works. I think it basically just feels very like, okay, I'm like, so would you have preferred whatever you're about to say? Would you have preferred this bad ending to what we got here?
I would prefer the bad ending, but because this one obviously is like it feels even more sequel baity than the game one. The game one ends with like, we have more work to do, that stuff. And I think they might have done a DLC. I'm not really sure, but I think they might have done like an update where it has like a new ending. I don't know anything about that one, but this ending is just like, it does that, but it's so not satisfying. It also has a pretty goofy ending if you really think about it, just them having a standoff. And I don't know why is he outside.
The creature in the mortuary looks like creepy and good in the dark. You put him in sunlight, he looks
like someone's grandma. They're all wrinkly.
His look seemed kind of like, and I haven't watched Death Note in a long time, but he reminded me of
Ryuk.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe. If you watch
the only good part of that adaptation,
Willem Dafoe is definitely the only good part. Well, I like the guy who played L, even though he's not exactly like that. That's the guy, the creepy guy, the detective one that like.
Lakeith Stanfield, right?
Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield. Yeah.
I think I thought all the acting was fine, and I'm very upset that it was Adam whatever did Wingard, which because I love The Guest, I love You're Next, and his Godzilla films are fun. But back to this, we're about to finish it off. What is the preferred ending? What is the bad ending? And when you say bad ending, like, is it like you fucked up in the game and this is what you got? Okay, so what is this ending? And let's see if I prefer it over this.
Yeah, the bad ending to the game, if you pick the wrong body and you burn it, which by the way, that's really cinematic in the game. If you pick the wrong body, or if you pick the right body, I think the same thing happens, where you put it in the furnace and it burns, and then the demon actually does come out, like, it's like, and it like actually rushes towards you while it's on fire, and then I think it cuts. It does the thing where she like gets knocked out or whatever, and then like Raymond's there and it's like, good job, you did it. So both endings are the same. Raymond's like, good job, you did it. And then if you actually screwed it up, it's revealed that actually you didn't do it. Like, if it's a good ending, then Raymond says like, you did it, good job, and we didn't destroy the demon permanently or whatever, but we can continue or something like that. I think that's how it ends. But actually no, it doesn't end like that. Fuck the Valerie girl. We didn't even talk about the Valerie girl really that much at all.
Well, I don't remember who Valerie is.
That's the one that's trapped in the
the one that's possessed. Okay, got it.
Yeah, they have to use the blood of the possessed girl to fight off the demon, whatever.
Which they don't really elaborate. So she's a game character.
Yeah, she is. Okay. I actually totally forgot that character existed, and I had to like look it up. I'm like, oh yeah. They use her as the way to stop the demon. Yes, she does. She does exist in the game. Anyway, so I think there's more to it. I think he actually like kills the Valerie girl a mistake, like Raymond, while fighting off the demon at a point. So then they don't have that anymore or something like that. Whatever. The bad ending is better because this is what happens. It's pretty much what you would expect from a horror movie where like, oh, the demon's defeated, and then you realize it's not defeated and everybody dies. But it's well done here because it's like revealed slowly that Rebecca, I was gonna say Jessica again. Rebecca is actually possessed, and she starts saying creepy shit again. So it's pretty much like that scene earlier where she's like in the chair and she starts saying creepy stuff. She starts saying creepy things to Raymond, and Raymond's like, oh no. And then she just lifts him up with her. I guess she has telekinetic. I mean, it's like, what would that be? Telekinetic when you lift. Yeah. And then she just crushes him to the point and turns him into a ball and just throws his ass into the wall. And that's the end of the game. It's like, all right, well, you lost. The demon's out and it's free. It just walks out and leaves. That's the ending.
It reminds me of like
it's better because I would have
Paranormal
loved to see
Activity
Raymond get crushed into a ball and then thrown into the wall, but sadly
it's
we
like
didn't get
Paranormal Activity 1 where Katie like just like throws whatever his name at the camera in the first Paranormal Activity. It's kind of like
Mika, is that her name?
Yeah.
Why do I remember that character?
I also feel like this film would have been better if it was found footage, to be honest.
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
With like security footage and whatnot.
Funny enough, isn't there that VHS short? It's a funeral home, not a mortuary. Okay. But there's one that was like found footage because VHS. I forgot which one that was. That was a Shudder one. That it kind of should have went that route. Fuck, I forgot what it was called.
I'm not as acquainted with it. I've really only watched the newest one, Halloween.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it was in the first Shudder one that came out. There's one where it's not exactly the same, but it's obviously it's short. It's like 20 minutes, but like it's a woman in a funeral home, and weird things start happening, and it's a found footage. I think it's like security cam footage of the funeral home, so you just only see through that. Yeah. And this show went like that route because I'm sure cameras in the mortuary. I mean, like why the hell would there not be? But yeah, this show probably went that route. But or they could have went the route where it's stuck closer to the game's gameplay. Because again, you're right about the separating the game from the movie in terms of the gameplay, because you can't really have just like a character do the gameplay the entire time, even though they do at a certain point with the sigils.
Yeah.
But that would have been more interesting if she was doing her job and there's these demons screwing her, trying to stop her. There's not enough of that in this, and there's way too much of her backstory. But overall, yeah, I just like I didn't care for the movie at all. The ending wasn't great. I didn't hate it. Like I had a decent enough time where I didn't want the movie to end like immediately because I hated it. You know, it's just like, all right, it's over, whatever, it's fine. I got through it enough where I'm not gonna come back a year later and say, nah, that movie sucked ass. But I probably won't even think about this movie again.
That's what I was gonna say. And that's I think that this is a film that I mean I gave it a very poor review on Letterboxd. I gave it a 1.5 out of 5. It really it had nothing really to offer. It just was a walking around, and editing was choppy. The characters I didn't care about. I said that the first the opening is the most effective the film gets, and after that it's just dead in the water. So
I think I give it a 2.5 out of 5. I might lower it after I might lower it to a 2 out of 5. Like it's just I don't know. This has better reviews than Return to Silent Hill, and I'm like,
it does, and I disagree, but it also might have less reviews. I don't know, but
that's true, yeah.
But I don't think that this one's worth watching. On the Cinefied scale, as you can probably depict by the 1.5, I would give it a spilled or a mistake. I don't think it's worth watching in any regard. I mean, if you're a big fan of the game, maybe, would you say give this a shot, Chris, if you're a fan of the game?
If you're a huge fan of the game, that definitely doesn't change things up to the point like a Silent Hill where it really changes things up. And if you're a huge fan of that game, you're going to be pretty pissed. I am too, but I'm willing to accept changes here and there. The original's still there, so it doesn't piss me off that much. As long as you give me a good story, which that one wasn't great, but it was fine enough where I didn't hate it. This is the exact same story, really, except it just focuses way more on the backstory. And it's just not scary, really. It had a couple creepy moments, but at the end, I wasn't looking around my room. I was just like, if you play the game for 10 minutes, you will be like that. I didn't even play it. I can tell you that's the case from watching it. This, you can put your headphones on, turn the lights out, get your popcorn. You're fine. You're not going to be scared. There's no way. I don't see how you would be. There's a couple of jump scares, which I appreciate. There's not that many jump scares in it. Most of it is just atmospheric, but it just doesn't set up a great atmosphere. It's a mortuary. That should be that half of your
easy.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that mortuary collection, it's not even that's an anthology. Have you ever seen that?
No, but I'm aware of it.
It's really good. It's also Shudder. It's really good, and that's all about it's a kind of an anthology VHS kind of thing, but it is set in a mortuary for part of it, and even that was scary, and that's more leaning comedic. That thing, it's a horror comedy kind of, and that's creepier than this. And this is just straight up a horror movie based on a horrifying game. So I just can't. I don't know. It's not great. But if you're a huge fan of the game, I think it might just be worth watching just to see, like, hey, they did the thing in live action. Hey, there's the character. I know that character, Raymond. There you go.
So you'll get some references out of it. But yeah,
if it's on Shudder, then what? And you have Shudder?
Yeah.
It's only what, like, what'd you say, like an hour and 40? So
it's an hour 40. So right now it's in theaters. I don't recommend going out and seeing it in theaters unless you have like AMC, whatever, or Regal Unlimited. But don't pay money extra to go see it. It'll be on Shudder end of March. So just wait till then.
Yeah, just wait then.
But I mean, I think that's that pretty much does it. I think that we both agree that this one is less. I think less entertaining than Return to Silent Hill. I mean, So I found more things to talk about with Return to Silent Hill for sure.
I was more emotionally invested in the characters in that movie, even if they still didn't do that great of a job with that. But it's still like it's more interesting. That
like
world
more than that.
Yeah, definitely. And also it's more interesting to talk about because it's just so like chaotic in terms of its like story structure. Where this is, but it's also it's chaotic in terms of like what's happening in the scene at the time. But it's just like, all right, she's walking around, she cuts back, she's doing this. You know, it's easy to explain what she's doing, but it just takes way too long for them to show what she's doing for the last half of the movie. I don't know, but really Silent Hill, there's like a lot of things I could talk about, like that's different about the game and the movie, whatever. So.
I don't remember if I brought this up earlier in our discussion, but the symbol running around for symbols reminded me a lot of Slender, like with the notes.
For sure. Yeah, it probably was inspired by that. I'd guess it's like you have to find the sigils, you have to find the pages and stuff.
That was one of the first like ones I watched like streamed, and I was like, nah, not playing this. I'm not doing no jump scare.
I did end up playing that myself, but like I watched a lot of people play that. I think that might have been the start of like YouTuber like horror reactions being really popular when it comes to like video games. Like I like
probably went from that to like Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's is obviously like the bigger one now, but like, and then of course we have like other things now, like pretty much every horror game that comes out, like a Poppy Playtime, if you ever heard of that, or
I've seen some gameplay, and I know you've done some reactions recently. So
the new one comes out like might have came out yesterday actually. It might have
too much stuff coming out all at once, so it's hard to keep track. But
it's just not, it's a shame because I thought this one would have really worked because it's a simple premise, it's a short game. Nope.
Yeah, I think they nailed the trailer enough to like really entice me. But I think that this one's not gaining enough traction. I mean, even like Return to Silent Hill bombed really hard at the box office, and that one had quite a bit of traction behind it. I feel like at the last minute, like not building up, but I think like when it was released, people were going out to it. I don't think anyone really knows this film exists.
No, probably
not. But I think that pretty much does it. I think both of us do not highly recommend it by any regard. I think hold off till Shudder, or just don't watch it at all. Play the video game, watch the video game. That's the
honestly just watch the video game. It's a pretty good experience if you get the right guy that you're watching, or just play it if you're not like us. It's like cowards. Like I'm especially one.
No, I am too. But but I think that does it. And thanks for listening, guys. This has been the Cinefied Podcast. You can follow us on all social media under Cinefied.com. We also have a Letterboxd account, which you're updating regularly every time a new review comes up. So if you don't want to go to Cinefied.com, you can check it out over there. So that does it for us. And remember to grab a drink, pop some popcorn, and remember, stay Cinefied. See you guys next time.
Bye.